Dish TV is better than cable TV. Why? Because you can save 45% on packages compared to your high-priced cable bill. Wow. Take those giant scissors out and cut the cable and save with Dish TV. Plus, you get a free DVR upgrade to record your favorite shows and free installation. And with Dish Anywhere, you can watch TV for free on your mobile device. Act fast. You can save hundreds of dollars. Does your cable company do that for you? Get all the best TV programming at your fingertips at a fraction of the price of cable TV. So say adios, arrivederci, goodbye to the high cable bill and save up to 45% on Dish TV packages today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, and welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, the show that goes inside the what is now trillion-dollar business, marketing, legal, deal-making aspects of sports. Anything that doesn't involve the X's and O's, but it also has a mid-Atlantic flavor to it with all the teams in the region, but with national issues that you can focus on here and maybe nowhere else. We deal with it in a comprehensive way, and boy, is this a comprehensive week with the World Series, even though you don't talk about that with Nationals fans, the NHL, the NBA heating up, NFL near the halfway pole, college football at the halfway pole, NASCAR intensifying its playoffs, golf. You think it's taking a break, but look over in Malaysia and other places, and it is not. Bottom line is it'll continue to grow every week as we head into that last week in October, first week in November frenzy for a sports fan. If you want to see everything, look at CSN Mid-Atlantic, our top 15 sports issues to watch, our Power of Sports 5, and our 5 top tech issues. We basically attempt to cover the waterfront. We have a special bring you back memory lane baseball issue. No, it's not the Nationals, but it's what makes baseball great. We'll tease that at the end of this. But the first part of this podcast, let's talk about some of the big issues that are happening in sports over the week. Join us on Google Play, Audio Boom. Join us on our Apple Podcast. Subscribe to us for Stitcher and all of those places we talked about again. And welcome to Power of Sports and Beyond the Scoreboard and the Tech 5. A lot of issues this week. First, from a power perspective, see what happens when the sports world tries to get together to deal with a couple of situations. First of all, those dreaded Northern California devastating fires, they seem to be contained, and the Sonoma Raceway reopening now, but when they were closed, they opened their 50-acre campgrounds as a stop-through shelter, offering 3 meals a day for evacuees. Their PR Director of Marketing and Communications, Diane.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the Sports Professor.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
If you are age 85 or younger, Call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
The sun can make your outdoor deck and patio space so hot and uncomfortable you can't use it. But now there's the Sunsetter Retractable Awning. A Sunsetter Retractable Awning opens and closes in just 60 seconds, and it keeps your patio about 20 degrees cooler. It provides instant shade and protection from the sun's harmful rays. You can get your Sunsetter for as little as $5.99 when you call now to get your special $200 discount certificate and free awning idea kit. You're going to love your Sunsetter Retractable Awning. Sunsetter awnings are assembled in America and guaranteed to last. So call 800-692-0268 now to get a free awning idea kit with DVD plus your $200 Sunsetter discount certificate. This is a limited time offer, so call 800-692-0268. That's 800-692-0268 for your free awning idea kit with DVD and $200 discount certificate. There's no obligation, so call 800-692-0268 now.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
A national perspective, from hurricane relief to wildfire shelter. This is just the latest example of American pro sports stepping up to disaster aid and disaster relief in 2017. The NCAA getting in on the act. Several major college basketball programs added exhibition games to their schedule in an attempt to raise money for victims of the recent hurricanes that impacted Texas, Florida, and the Caribbean. University of Oklahoma hosts a charity scrimmage against UT Arlington on October 28 before their homecoming football game against Texas Tech. The game will be free and have open seating, but fans encouraged to make a donation, and all money raised at the game go toward the United Way Harvey Relief Fund. Mississippi State University hosts a charity basketball game against the University of Nebraska next weekend. The game will be held on Sunday, October 22 at the Humphrey Coliseum in Starkville. Admission to the game free. The school's partnering with the American Red Cross to collect money at the gates, and all of the money collected going toward helping the victims of Hurricane Irma. Obviously, it was held the weekend, and Nebraska has a very, very generous heart. Let's go to the NFL. Some good news first. The 2018 draft, good news for Dallas, April 26-28. The draft goes to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Philadelphia had it last year. Chicago had it for 2 years. And Cowboys executive VP and chief brand officer Charlotte Jones-Anderson tweeted she's so excited to have won the rights to host the event. Logistics will be including the field, the stands, the outdoor plazas where the NFL draft experience would take place, and also the Cowboys' state-of-the-art practice facility, the Star at Frisco, used in some capacity also. And it's clear, my take would be, the NFL has cemented itself with the draft as a must-attend event and solidified the league's quest to capture sports fans' attention year-round. The bottom line is this. If Dallas, if Philly, NFC East, why not Washington? Look at all of the iconic venues the draft could also have there. If this gets rotated around and it's not an issue of warm weather versus cold weather, as it is for the Super Bowl, the draft ought to be a odds-on favorite. Are you listening, Snyders? Well, the other good news for the NFL is what Green Bay is doing with their technology facility near Lambeau. The facility is called Titletown Tech. It's a tech accelerator created in an effort to boost the growth of startup companies and revitalize the local economy and beyond. Project is a significant financial commitment for the team, $5 million for the next 5 years to fund Titletown Tech. Mark Murphy, who's the president and CEO, said Titletown gained tremendously impactful partner in Microsoft. Economic development is the key to our region's future. Microsoft, with its array of tools and exposure, will help grow new businesses as well as assist in our existing brand through their investment. And my take is it's interesting because as a publicly owned entity, the Packers famously have a very close relationship with their fans, and as a result, this sort of investment perfectly fits their image and will only keep them involved even more in the long run. How about other do-good? And this is really positive. Eagles defensive end Chris Long donates a year's salary to education equality efforts. His work with the Eagles, the announcement is that Long already donated his first 6 game checks to the season to provide scholarships for students in his hometown of Charlottesville. Now, over the next 10 weeks, each game check will go toward launching the Pledge 10 for Tomorrow campaign. It aims to encourage people to make donations to help improve equal education opportunities. The foundation has selected 4 organizations focusing on making education easily accessible for underprivileged youth. Long has spent time during his NFL career in certain cities, and they will get benefits as well. St. Louis, Boston, and Philly. Each foundation will receive donations throughout the season, and the organization that raises the most money by the end of the season receives an additional $50,000. And if that doesn't show you the power of sports, I don't know what does. Well, then finally, I think really positively, a lot of media talking about the negativity of the NFL. Do you stand? Must you stand? Should you stand for the national anthem? But yet the owners' meetings with the players and management last week talks about the causes, not the process. Bail reform, education, urban development. And the bottom line is, if all of the entities move forward and talk about anything, it's positive, given the poison language before collective bargaining discussions. If they talk about these specifics beyond process and create something that gets something done in these areas, it's even better. That's the take on what should have been viewed by everybody as an incredibly positive NFL week. Let's go to basketball. The NBA season underway, and the report from Wasserman Media notes the average jersey patch deal across the league is about $9.3 million. Half the NBA teams signed those jersey patch deals ahead of the new season, giving them additional revenue sources, and the NBA champion Golden State Warriors, as you might expect, led the way with a $20 million annual deal with Japanese tech company Rakuten. The $9.3 million average is slightly up from projections of 9. The NBA jersey sponsorships are the first of any of the 4 major sports leagues in the U.S., so selling the high-priced inventory, no easy task, because it's never been done before. The league gave teams an additional 18-month runway to sell the package, and look for the NHL to be the next domino to fall in the uniform patch revenue hunt. The league will test the scheme at hockey's World Cup next December. Look at individual players. Well, Nike is scrambling. LeBron James jersey ripped down the middle on national TV, and of course Nike executives extensively reviewing why the jersey split down the middle and who caused it, extensively reviewing maybe who the scapegoat is. The Timberwolves and Lakers guard Tyler Ennis against the Timberwolves ripped between the 1 and 0 of his number 10. Nike took over as the official outfitter of the NBA from Adidas after an 8-year $1 billion deal. Nike makes the materials and provides blank uniforms to the squads, it's often the team's responsibility to find a vendor. And my take is this: if Nike is smart, it'll avoid the blame game, solve the problem, move on, and sell hundreds of thousands of NBA replica jerseys to satisfied fans. You know they're going to do it. And who's going to help? Well, not news to anybody, but LeBron James, the NBA's most marketable player, comfortably ahead of Stephen Curry. King James received 38 of the possible 49 first-place votes from sports business executives with the Sports Business Daily. Westbrook, Durant, and Harden cracked the top 10 more than any other team, the Warriors. Rookie Lonzo Ball finished tied for 10th with Draymond Green. Survey distributed to marketing and branding executives. When you have the NBA Finals and all the exposure from the last few years for the Warriors and Cavs, it's hard not to have a list dominated by those teams' players, commented Bruin Sports Capital partner David Amberton. As the NBA season gets underway, for real, it'll be interesting to see which new brand stars emerge over the next 8 months. Some you might not even know. Well, when you do know, Kevin Durant not only talks about his endorsements, but he now is investing in companies. How about the autonomous drone startup Skydio, believed to be one of the 30 or more tech investments Durant's made over his playing career? Artificial intelligence combined with world-class hardware project design, yielding a breakthrough that makes drones a trusted part in our daily lives. He says,
we're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the sports professor.
The following update is for drivers who pay too much for car insurance due to DUIs, DWIs, tickets, or anything else. By now, you know all too well that SR22 auto insurance is way more than you'd ever want to pay. You probably thought you didn't have a choice, but you were wrong. Our company specializes in low-cost, very affordable SR22 auto insurance for high-risk drivers. We know that mistakes happen, so take pride in being able to offer absolutely free quotes for this very affordable auto insurance meant specifically for you, the overpaying high-risk driver. We're standing by at 800-758-0725. The only thing you need to do is stop waiting around while your monthly payments stay as high as they are. Our knowledgeable representatives are ready for your call at 800-758-0725. The quote is free, and we'll even handle the filings so you could start saving money every month even sooner. Call 800-758-0725. That's 800-758-0725. Once more, 800-758-0725.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
In this tight labor market, finding new employees can be tough. Whether you're the business owner or an HR professional, you want access to highly qualified candidates fast. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, no matter the industry, with Indeed you get immediate access to a high-quality pool of talent with no long-term contracts or upfront fees. For a limited time, Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to make their first job listing a sponsored job, with premium visibility so more candidates will see it. You want to make a great hire fast, and this exclusive offer gives you a head start. Independent research shows 6 times more hires are delivered through Indeed than any other job site, making Indeed your one-stop source for hiring. To redeem this offer, go to Indeed.com/offer. That's Indeed.com/offer. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
NBA players investing in tech companies. Not coincidentally, they play in the Bay Area, and they play in Silicon Valley, near it. And my take is that it's inspiring to see pro athletes invest in ventures that represent the markets in which they play. And finally, the NBA certainly has to focus on facilities. That's really important. Target Center, home of the Timberwolves, now on par with other state-of-the-art arenas in the NBA. The facility's $140 million facelift actually saw the total capacity reduced by 400 to 18,798. But the features give it some flair. Extra windows placed throughout the concourse, making Target Center look bigger, even while staying in the same smallish footprint at the heart of downtown Minneapolis. New Lexus Club, spacious and clean, and the obvious expectation of excitement, the Timberwolves on the court. Additions of Jimmy Butler and Taj Gibson from Chicago, and otherwise. And finally, in basketball, not the guys, but the women. The San Antonio Stars officially set to become Vegas's new pro sports franchise. WNBA team purchased by the MGM Resorts and start playing in Vegas in 2018. It's been in the works for several months, and one of the biggest questions leading up to the move would be where the team would play. Mandalay Events Center been chosen as the team arena, smaller, more intimate, about 12,000 seats. We feel it's absolute right size for the fans that have an intimate experience to watch basketball, says their chief marketing officer. And my take is this, while unrelated, it's also terrific that Mandalay Bay, currently associated with terror and tragedy, has something much more positive and uplifting in its near future. It's good for the resort, good for the industry, and obviously good for the city. Let's shift to hockey for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get into our feature of baseball. The NHL expects facial recognition software to be implemented in arenas within the next 2 years. 31 of the teams fielding pitches from companies offering to install high-def cameras of facial recognition software, hoping to have the technology adopted in the near future. And one of the reasons for this push is pro sports leagues across the world have come to terms with the fact that they're targets for terrorists. They're looking to keep out the really bad guy, and technology's improved dramatically to do that, says Face First CEO Peter Trepp. And while some fans, might decry the lack of privacy that would accompany putting the software systems into place, in this day and age, we can really afford to dismiss them? Probably not. Well, and what a segue. Speaking of Vegas, the NHL expansion club trying out different entertainment aspects in its first season. T-Mobile Arena is right off the strip, and they're trying to use its location as a selling point for fans, listening to what the people like and what they don't like, says the VP of Events and Entertainment, Johnny Greco. One way the team has shown its willingness to try tactics is when it chose its mascot. Instead of a golden knight, which we don't know what that is anyway, the team chose a Gila monster, an animal indigenous to the region, and pretty darn ugly, by the way. The Golden Knights are on their Vegas honeymoon at present and currently sitting in second place in the NHL Western Conference. And if they continue to win, it looks like this marriage will be a lasting one, even if they don't but focus on entertainment. I'll bet the house on them. Finally, in hockey, the U.S. women's team given the Wilma Rudolph Courage Award. The U.S. women's national team received that award at the Women in Sports event in New York City, Women's Sports Foundation. The players were given the award for their courage and leadership both on and off the ice. The team announced it would boycott the upcoming International Ice Hockey Federation Women's World Championship, promoted as a way to advocate for equality in their sports. And just 2 weeks after the boycott was announced, the dispute was successfully resolved. The team was able to participate in the IHHF Championship. They emerged victorious, beating Canada 3-2 in overtime during the championship. Now ranked number 1 in the world, the women are training for the 18 Korea Games, where the team hopes to medal for the 6th time since the sport was introduced in the Olympics in '98. A script couldn't have been written any better. Well, let's focus on our feature, which is baseball. I know Nationals fans, you can tune it out, but we'll focus on other things when spring training starts with them and more. The Dodgers coming back to the series, first time in 29 years. Payroll increased to $265 million. Operating loss at $74 million in 2015, about $21 million last year, according to the New York Post. They may make $50 million annually, according to some of their other projects, which may help them. On the other side, the Astros advanced to their second World Series in franchise history, lifted a city that'll long be recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Harvey. But don't expect the massive economic impact from the World Series that Super Bowl host cities experience. Sports economists peg the impact for World Series home games at around $6.5 million, a far cry from the $300 million, but don't tell fans in L.A. and don't tell fans in Houston the impact wouldn't be significant. And as a matter of fact, don't tell fans in Washington that it wouldn't have been a rallying cry had the Nationals won Game 5, and who knows what would have happened. A couple of other baseball issues before we get to our interview. The American League Championship Series, one of its first of the kind in terms of technology. 100 microphones used to capture every sound and a high number of cameras. MLB increasing those numbers for the series. Fans have an unprecedented amount of access to player reactions. Fox Sports Senior Vice President of Field and Technical Operations Michael Davies said he'll have 8 super slow motion and hyper motion cameras. By the way, those things are great. The Fox Phantom cameras at either side of the plate to capture at-bats and the like. Having players mic'd up has been a part of sports technology for the last decade, but now fans have and now MLB has placed microphones along with high-speed cameras right on the field to the fans' advantage and delight. And how about teams that didn't get in the series but are moving forward with other stuff? The Yankees moving forward pretty quickly in the esports arena. They'll invest in 3 esports companies, including their partnership with Vision Esports. The move is the latest example of pro sports franchises realizing the legitimacy of striking while the proverbial iron is hot in the esports space. Partner Hal Steinbrenner told Fortune, the Yankees are thrilled to partner with Vision Esports in its diverse portfolio. They're transcending the industry with a bold, innovative partnership. The Yankees continue to push the envelope of their global brand in new ways. The impact of an open door into New York City could pay enormous dividends for the entire esports image and brand. And as we heard a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, they're even looking at the Olympics. Well, baseball is not only for the present. Baseball is still an incredibly unparalleled opportunity to link the present and the past. And anybody talking about pace of play and too long, yeah, Rob Manfred's trying to speed it up, but also the 9-8 game where the Nationals lost, we understand that we don't want to talk about it. It was the longest regular season game in playoff history. My sense is most people would agree it was also the most exciting, one of the most nerve-wracking, yeah, most disappointing, yeah. But what it does is gives generations an opportunity to connect. I was in Boston. The national lifestyle blogger Enid O'Brien also there, and coincidentally met Paul Reiser, guy who worked with the Globe, but also has had 50 years of season tickets, 48 as he'll tell you, with the Red Sox. He transcends Fenway. He has heroic moments. He has family stories. And I think it was important from a business and social perspective, not only to get Enid's thought as a lifestyle blogger nationally in scope, but also to hear Paul Reiser on what he thinks is the value of baseball to his family and him. And I guarantee you'll understand that it really does transcend economics. Enid O'Brien, Paul Reiser.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, behind the scoreboard, beyond the box score, in the boardroom, whatever you want to call it. We usually get into industry leaders and those who are kind of iconic in the business of sports. This, in its own way, is a great commentary on the meaning of life, because the person that's on the phone is iconic in his own way. A 48+2, real news, year season ticket holder for the Boston Red Sox. A little time on his hands now, but we'll talk about that later. This is an issue of Americana and what sports means, the power of sports. Joining us also, as she will regularly with us, Enid O'Brien, national lifestyle blogger. Enid, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Awesome. And, we came upon Paul Reiser together, the Red Sox game, and he has a very interesting story to tell. So I'll start. Paul, how are you? We were one row behind or ahead of you at Fenway. We got to talking. This is a story that transcends just the X's and O's.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the sports professor.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780. Nobody really needs or wants home security until it's too late. You've heard the statistics about how many burglaries there are per day. You see the news. You know there are people out there that do bad things. The best way to help protect your home and your property is with an ADT monitored system from Protect Your Home, an ADT authorized premier provider. Call right now to get a free wireless home security system valued at $850. An ADT monitored system can help protect your home from fires, theft, floods, and call for emergency help. Call now to find out more about our $850 free wireless home security system and start enjoying the peace of mind of security today. Call 800-587-4281, 800-587-4281, 800-587-4281. This offer is for new customers only. Termination fees apply. $99 customer installation charge and 36-month monitoring agreement required. All for details. License terms and conditions available at secureathome.com.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But The Secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
Long time.
It sure is, and I consider myself a very lucky person to have purchased them and kept them, and always kept some money aside so that I could pay the bill. Because if you can't do that, you don't get the tickets.
Yeah, quite clearly. But you have a special significance. This is all about family, about relationships as well. So, Enid, what kind of struck you when you were, when we're all talking together about Papa Paul and the family legacy and what it kind of tells us about sports and baseball?
So I feel like it's all one common thread. I loved the whole story behind it. I remember Paul telling me about how he takes his daughter and all of her friends to the games and just kind of what it means to him. I've learned a lot about lifestyle, and obviously I was interested in what celebrities and what famous people he's seen throughout the years. But it's really just more about an ever-changing world and how he has remained the constant and not the variable within that subsector of peace. So I just really found his story charming and really amazing because obviously those seats were not cheap, and it's just interesting to know who's sitting around you. Is it somebody that, are they corporate seats? Is it a story like Paul's? So I just thought that it was very unique.
Well, that's an interesting perspective. So, Paul, you're obviously not a corporate guy. You do work with the Globe. You work with Best Chevrolet. So, kind of tell us how you mix business and pleasure. You've been with the Globe for a long time, too, which is ironic since John Henry owns the Globe and the Red Sox, huh?
Yes, actually, I started out with the Times, and we were the distributor in the area, and then the Times bought the Globe, so I ended up going to the Globe. And seeing newspapers constantly, being the first to see the news, just made you want to be there and follow it. And since I was a little guy, I always enjoyed looking at the papers about the Sox, especially, obviously. And the night I retired in 2007, it'll be 10 years this month, I wasn't scheduled to work, but I had to be there because we won the World Series that night. And just, the different editions and sitting there waiting for the game to end so the presses could get running and get the papers out to the people. Just a very exciting atmosphere. And again, so many stories of people I met over the years. Jess Kane, one of the local radio guys in the morning, met him at a ball game one day, and I yelled to him and I said, "Hey, Jess, you're the greatest. Nobody's better around here than you." And he said to me, well, thanks. Let me bring my friends over here. Let me tell them. So they came over and tell them what you just said, and I did. And he said, "Hey, who's that with you?" And I said, "My son Paul." This was in '86. And he said, "Listen, glad to meet you." He rolls him a baseball that Marty Barrett had given him after the game. And the next morning, I met a friend that I used to take to games, and I said, "You'll never guess what happened yesterday." He said, "I know what happened." I said, "How do you know? You went there." He says, "Jess Kane gave you a ball." So, just little things like that. I'm walking along the beach one day, and I'm listening to another radio guy in the afternoon playing some great American music. And he had Robert Merrill on the show, and I called him up, and I said, "You know, Ron," I said, "I got some great seats at Fenway. I want you and Robert to come down and go to a game." So I brought the tickets over one day, and he said to me, "Come on upstairs. I got a good friend upstairs I want you to meet." And who the heck is sitting there but Tony Bennett?
Did you make Tony Bennett sing? Did you make Tony Bennett sing for your ticket?
But I watched the 75 World Series from the top of the John Hancock building because my brother had the seats, and watched Bill Lee feed an ethos pitch to, can't think of his name now, but anyway, he hit a home run, and I later heard that he wasn't supposed to do that. But, everybody makes mistakes, and I had an interview with a radio station after the 04 series, and I said, I'm really not super excited about winning. I'm glad we did. But what I don't understand is there's more to the baseball than winning the World Series, because it only happens to one team every year. And I said, I'm interested in all the great players that came through this town, especially after they came up with the, the designated hitter. We had some great Louis Aparicio. We had Tom Seaver here. We had Andre Dawson. And one night I took my daughter to a game, and Andre came to bat, and I said, "Honey, watch this. This guy is like spring steel when he comes around." Just as I said that, he turned on a ball, and it was like a rocket out of the park. It just, again, it isn't just the team. It's all the great guys that played the game. They're all the best at what they do. That's why they're playing. Batting practice. I'm a season ticket holder, as we know, and I get to bring some of the batting practice once a season against a pitching machine. But I had a couple of friends, my son, a niece, and one of them played softball in college, and what a hitter. And the day we went, they thought it might rain, so I thought we'd go under the bleachers. But by the time they got the pitching machine lined up, it was her turn to bat, and she killed the bat. I mean, things like that. We got to sit in the dugout and have our picture taken. The home run derby, my God. My seats are awesome because when you're sitting at Fenway looking up the third baseline, you get the perspective of where the balls go when they hit as home runs. For example, you have the wall, you have the net, you have the stanchions for the light towers, and you have the light towers. And McGuire, I can't think of his first name.
Mark McGuire, everybody remembers, and you were there kind of right there, and I remember you told that story. So it's a big deal. But Enid, let me ask you this, because I know you got a lot of stories. You're national blogger on kind of social scenes, and stadiums are one piece of it. Are the kind of big time seats that you've been around and seen more of the kind of Paul Reiser domain, where people are still hanging on to those seats, and it's the legacy, and it's the father and son and daughter? Has corporate America kind of taken over a lot of these seats? What's your perspective on, are there a lot of Paul Reiser stories all over the country? Enid, are you there?
Yes, okay. I'm here. Yes, from what I've seen, I feel that, sorry, I had it muted because I'm in my home office today. I didn't want you guys to get background noise. I feel that there's not as many Paul Reiser stories, unfortunately, in New York. It has been taken over by corporate America, but I feel like that's what's so interesting about the Red Sox Stadium to begin with.
Yeah, and I think the bottom line of all of this is that the Wrigley Field, Fenway Park, a lot of places still have those memories, and I think that's probably the biggest issue of all of this. So, hey, Paul and Enid and I both want to know this. What's your favorite player that you've seen in front of you in the last 50 years?
Oh, God. Yes, I got to say yes, because he turned it all around in '67. The Sox were dead. He had his Triple Crown year, and for me, he's the ultimate, because he won so many games. He was so clutch. And then next to him, David Ortiz. He made so many exciting, heroic, happy events for the fans. I mean, it's just amazing when you're sitting there and everything's on the line, and this guy comes up with a double or a home run or whatever, and watch the crowd go berserk and screaming and yelling. It's just, and it was a big reason why we won in 04.
And he's a great guy. Have you ever met him, Big Papi?
No. I met Jim Rice, and I had a pleasure of bumping into him one day, and I asked him to put down his car window. He just got in his car. And I said, he said, what's up? And I said, what's wrong? I said, it's your fault. And he said, what do you mean? I said, in 75, if you hadn't had a broken hand, as far as I'm concerned, we won the World Series. He says, thanks very much. I said, well, I feel very strongly about that. He was a tremendous hitter. I saw him hit a ball over the flagpole in center field one night. And the crazy part about Jim is you'd read in the paper the next day, he'd say, I didn't get all of that. I mean, if he ever got all of one, I think the ball would still be going. Yeah,
it's interesting the way people perceive him, too. As a student of the game and a guy that's been around for 50 years sitting in those same seats, 48 plus 2, is it like the good old days? Free agency, it's kind of hard to find a guy who's been with the team for more than 5 years. Is that a problem? Do you go with the flow on that? How do you feel about a new team kind of showing up every year? Do you miss the good old days, let's say?
Yeah, but that's the way it is today, and I think part of the reason of that is that there's some money in Boston now. I mean, years ago, yeah, they had dough, but now there's a lot of money because they've been so successful. So you're going to see more and more players turn over all the time. And Garcia Peller and the money in another town. I mean, and these guys, I mean, I feel bad for them to the extent, I mean, they could be gone in 2 years if they don't, do well. Yeah, they make tons of money for a year or two, but in the meantime, they got to watch out for their career. If the team doesn't win, if a young rookie comes along, that could be the end of them. So you just enjoy what you have, and that's the other thing. This is the team you got. I don't enjoy spring training. I don't enjoy any of that type of stuff. I want to see real baseball, and we have no choice. This is the team they present you with. Make the most of it.
Enid, you got one more question for our buddy?
I think we pretty much covered everything, but I just want to, obviously I could hear many more stories about who is the most exciting celebrity that you ever sat close to, other than Tony Bennett, obviously.
Bobby Orr was at all the games in the World Series in the.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, more Rick Horrow, the Sports Professor.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
When you struggle with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt is all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
At the Debt Helpline, we're experts at helping you resolve your debt problems and become free of debt. We can help you pay off your debt and give you one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 or more in credit card bills, call the Debt Helpline now for a free confidential debt analysis.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. Call the CESI Debt Helpline right now for a free confidential debt review. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063.
Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard with Rick Horrow. We pick up right where we left off.
Bobby Orr was at all the games in the World Series, in the 75 World Series, and I had his autograph on the back of my ticket stub, which I sent in to John Henry about, a year or so ago, because hopefully it could be on display in his office or something. But one last thing, the greatest game ever, and it's not because we beat the Yankees, it's because we won 4 straight, and I happened to be there in New York. And as the game went on and on, guys were leaving. I'm not going to sit here and watch the end of this. And I kept asking guys, can I have your tickets? Can I have your tickets? And they said, no way. Finally, one guy said to me, I said, well, tell me, where will you sit? We ended up sitting in box seats overhanging home plate. But then we headed down, and I was right behind the dugout that squirted with champagne. I had a sign there with me from the previous year that said Red Sox clinch pennant. I mean, there isn't anything better than that. That was just, and I came home, people had put balloons on my doors, balloons and decorations. Just an amazingly exciting. We had a hotel room and I couldn't even stay. Had to get back to Boston with the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't ever let it be said that baseball has become exclusively a corporate game as long as Papa Paul Reiser and people like him are around. Enid O'Brien, Paul Reiser, thanks very much. Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard. Be back in a few minutes.
Well, we'd like to thank Enid O'Brien and Paul Reiser for providing a little bit of Americana and baseball as we head into the World Series, whether those of you who are listening want to admit it or not. Next week, some interesting stuff that transcends. First, we'd like to thank Enid and Paul and remind you that if you want to subscribe on Apple and Google Play and Audio Boom and Stitcher and look at our CSN Mid-Atlantic for our tech, our 15 and our 5 power this week and every week. And join us next week as the World Series winds down, but the NFL, NBA, NHL, and NASCAR heat up. And join us when we go Beyond the Scoreboard.